What this referee did made Haaland furious. This one made Cristiano Ronaldo leave the match for a bizarre reason. There was even a referee who got in the way of the winning goal. These are the times when referees ruined football. Starting with this linesman who fell sick in the middle of the match and ended up throwing up all over the field. He felt so bad that he even got a card. But this Mexican referee did something so cruel that he deserved a red card. As if giving a yellow card wasn't enough, he went even further by doing this. But this joke didn't come cheap. He ended up being suspended for 12 games. Worse than that was this other referee who literally took away a goal. And since there's no rule on what to do in these situations, he was completely frozen. At least that one was accidental. But what about this referee who disallowed a goal on purpose? The goalkeeper carried the ball fully across the line, yet the referee still refused to count the goal. This was the most unfair red card in history. During the 2010 World Cup, Brazil was playing against Ivory Coast, and Kaká was dominating the game. Then this happened. The star didn't even touch the player's face, and he just threw himself to the ground. But the worst part, the referee didn't care and gave Kaká a red card. What this referee did during a World Cup left everyone disgusted. In the 2002 World Cup, South Korea faced Spain in the quarterfinals, and from the start, the Spanish team was dominating the game. Then this happened. After a free kick, Spain finally scored. But the referee invented a foul and disallowed the goal. And it didn't stop there either. After the match was into extra time, the referee did something even worse. At that time, there was the famous golden goal a lie. The match went into penalties, and South Korea ended up eliminating Spain and played the semi-final against Germany. This is the most robbed penalty in history. Sterling clearly fell on his own, and worse, he wasn't even in the box. Still, the referee awarded a penalty to City. Meanwhile, this referee got distracted and ended up making a nasty foul. I know it was unintentional, but if it had been a player, they definitely would have gotten a card. This referee was so bad that he ruined his career in just one match. It was a game between Barcelona and Chelsea, and right from the start, he began like this. But the joy of the goal didn't last long, because soon after, this happened. How did the referee miss that? It was clearly a penalty. And that wasn't the only time. It happened again. And to top it all off, there was this. If he had missed just one penalty, it might have been understandable, but 4 penalties? That's way too much. The worst part? Barcelona managed to equalize at the very end, and Chelsea lost their chance to go to the Champions League final.
Getting himself into further trouble.
Have you ever seen a referee simulate a foul? The funniest part is that the simulation was so bad that he ended up getting a yellow card himself afterward. This referee had to stop the match after getting knocked over by a player. And the worst part, he actually got hurt and had to call for medical assistance. Now, take a look at what this other referee did during a penalty kick. The saddest part is that the goalkeeper made a great save. He just didn't expect this beautiful chip shot. And this referee who gave the finger to a player, the guy couldn't believe what he was seeing. But in this next moment, Haaland yelled at the referee for a bizarre reason. In a Manchester City vs Tottenham classic, the score was tied until this happened. First, the referee told them to play on, but when the ball landed at Grealish's feet, he suddenly decided to call a foul.
Away with it because Haaland kept the ball, and on he goes to Grealish, and Grealish is down the middle, and the referee has blown.
This other referee should have been investigated by FIFA after what he did. It was a World Cup match, and Germany needed a miracle to qualify. That's when Lampard scored this incredible goal. The only problem was that even though the ball was completely over the line, the referee refused to validate the goal and then started handing out yellow cards to anyone who disagreed with him. But on this day, it was the opposite, and the referee ended up helping Messi by accident. The referee even tried not to interfere, but it was too late by then. But this referee is so bad that he can't even referee with the help of VAR. He disallowed a goal where the player was clearly not offside. And the worst part, even though he was wrong, he still started handing out red cards to the whole team. This other referee made Cristiano Ronaldo furious. But first, let's take a look at this referee who ruined an entire team. That day, Bayern Munich had the task of beating Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, and by the 67th minute, this happened. Now, they just had to hold on a little longer and the victory would be theirs. But Real Madrid didn't make it easy, and in the 90th minute, this happened.
Valverde and in! People. Rudiger!
They turned the game around in just a few minutes. But the real problem came right after. The referee had the audacity to call offside just when Bayern scored the equalizer. And the worst part? They weren't even offside. Speaking of a stolen goal, this referee managed to do something even more unbelievable. In a Premier League match, a player decided to take a chance and do this. What a beautiful goal. Well, at least it would have been if the referee had validated it, because according to him, the ball didn't go in. Now, let's find out why Cristiano Ronaldo hates this referee. It all started when a referee's mistake almost cost Portugal a spot in the World Cup. It was clear that the ball was taken out from inside the goal, and even though the linesman saw everything, he did nothing. To make matters even worse, the referee didn't like Cristiano arguing with him about the goal and decided to give the star a yellow card. But in the end, this mistake was so bad that the entire officiating team for the game ended up being punished. Worse than that was this referee who ran to celebrate Tottenham's goal with the players. Did he forget he was the referee? But nothing beats the referee's reaction when he saw the dirtiest play of his life. He simply couldn't believe what he was seeing. Now, this referee made the most ridiculous mistake in football. This player clearly used his arm to control the ball, and the whole team ran after the referee to demand a penalty. But take a look at what the referee did. If he made such a big mistake with the help of VAR, imagine what he would have done without it. This referee grabbed everyone's attention for an unexpected reason. Not only did he steal the ball, but he also tried to dribble past the whole team and ended up knocking down the player who stopped him with a tackle. But in this moment, the referee had to stop the game for a sad reason. I've seen fans go too far before, but what happened this day was unforgivable. The impact was so strong that the linesman was forced to leave the match and go straight to the hospital. Something similar happened with this referee. The weather was so hot that he ended up fainting from dehydration and had to be hospitalized. Thankfully, everything ended well. In this other match, with just 2 minutes left and the score tied, this happened. A clear penalty. But not for the referee, who, even with the use of VAR, decided to disallow the decision. But this referee's mistake went down in history for a bizarre reason. After this play, the player clearly deserved a yellow card, and the rule is clear. Another yellow and he's sent off. But look at what happened. The guy ended up receiving 4 cards in one match. What a madness! Just take a look at how this referee got in the way of the play. It almost looked like he wanted to pass the ball with the player. Now, this referee dared to try and intimidate Ibra. Just look at what happened. Yeah, I don't think that worked out very well. But in this other moment, the referee totally crossed the line. This player was so focused on the play that he didn't even see the referee in front of him, and this happened. Even though it was unintentional, the referee got really angry and sent the player off right away.
It's a yellow card for Diego Carlos, which means he's in real trouble.
On this other day, it was the linesman who got the worst of it. The guy was just run over by this player. But the best part is that he took it in stride, and everything turned out fine. But in this other match, it was Messi who suffered. Check this one out. The foul was so bad that the Argentine lost his boot, and still, the referee did nothing. And guess what happened when Messi went to complain? Now take a look at the blunder this referee made. Did he think he was playing volleyball? But the best part is the look on his face right afterward. While some referees do everything to avoid interfering, this one did the opposite. There's no way he can make up an excuse. He literally threw himself in front of the player. Now, have you ever seen a linesman committing a foul? This guy went and tackled the attacker right in front of everyone. Have you ever seen a player get a yellow card for dribbling? That's exactly what happened to Neymar. The referee gave him a yellow card after this rainbow flick. And this was the star's reaction at the end of the match. This referee messed up a brilliant goal by Cristiano Ronaldo. Rooney went all the way to the corner and touched the ball, allowing his teammate to make his cross. It's a shame the linesman didn't understand the play and disallowed the goal. Now check out what happened to this linesman. I know it was unintentional, but man, that must have hurt. And that wasn't the only time it happened. Check out what happened to this other referee. In this other case, it was the referee himself who got revenge on the player. And by the look on his face, he wasn't joking around. And this referee ruined a counterattack. He even tried to dodge, but there was no way. Something similar happened in this other play, but the most shocking part was Puyol's reaction. Poor referee. In this other case, a referee caused a nasty fight. I don't think a red card has ever cost so much. Though what happened to this referee was even worse. Not only did the guy have to run to avoid getting hit, but the situation got so bad that he was forced to abandon the match. But this yellow card is the most bizarre thing in football. All of that just to take a selfie with the star. But while some referees are unlucky, this one had too much of it. Just take a look at what he managed to do.